Alrighty, guys, I hope everyone is having a great and wonderful day today. In today's video recording, I would like to talk about one thing and one thing only, and that is this. Is it possible, right, for everyone to feel Moldavite and the energies and the effects that it has? Is it possible for anybody to feel Moldavite's energy? Okay. And the answer is yes. Okay. Now I know maybe some of you watching this might be like, well, I don't feel it, and maybe you believe in crystals and tektites and all of this, and maybe you don't, right? Maybe you're watching this and you're a little bit skeptical. You're like, how am I going to feel energy from a tektite or from this rock? How in the world, what energy, what are you talking about, Chewy? What are you talking about? And so, guys, in this video, I really want to talk about the three types of people you will encounter. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you fall into one of these three categories, right? Of the type of experience that you will have with Moldavite and how you interpret it in your world. Okay? But let me tell you guys, first and foremost, that everyone and anyone can feel Moldavite. But the key lies in the next three categories that I'm going to share with you, and here they are. Okay, so the very first category that you might fall into if you're watching this video and you're a little bit curious about Moldavite, but you've never worked with it, right? Maybe you're like, I don't think I'll feel this, or maybe you don't even really believe that you can feel energy from a tektite, right? So this will be the first category that someone, maybe some of you watching this may fall into, or maybe someone you know may fall into, right? Is the one that they don't believe that they can feel it. They believe that, crystals and all that stuff is hocus pocus. It's weird. It's weird, right? They think it's weird and they don't believe in the energy from, rocks and anything like that. That's the first category people can fall into, right? And I know because my father is like that, right? My father actually falls into that category where he's like, I don't believe in that crap, blah, 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 blah. It's just a rock. It's just a tektite, okay? But let me tell you guys a quick story, okay? He was like this for a very long time until I grabbed a bunch of Moldavite because I was only showing him like a few pieces at a time. But let me tell you guys, once it finally got to a certain amount of Moldavite, he started to feel it. Okay. Now I'm not saying it was anything super dramatic, but he's just started saying like, "Oh wow, like it is weird. Like I feel something." He didn't know what it was, but he said he felt something. Okay. But it was only after I started exposing him to more Moldavite and larger batches of Moldavite that he started to feel it. Okay, so that will be the first category. So many people who say they don't feel the energy is because they don't have enough Moldavite. Okay, sadly enough, Moldavite, for some people who say they don't feel it, they need more of it. They need more Moldavite if they don't feel it, okay? And another case could also be that you maybe have fake Moldavite, but, for the most part, I believe that everyone here is smart enough to realize and know the difference between fake Moldavite and real Moldavite. And, when you have real Moldavite, sometimes you just need more of it to feel it. I was like that too at once, but I'll get to that. That's the third category, right? I'll get to that later. So yeah, so if you know somebody who falls into that category, maybe you were in that category, just realize that you need more Moldavite to feel it, okay? And sometimes you may have to go the extra mile and get like a full out bracelet of Moldavite, and sometimes those can go up to $2,000, okay? But just realize that everyone can feel Moldavite, so doesn't matter even if you fall into that category, okay? Second category that you may fall into is the in-between kind of category where it's like, yeah, you believe in the energies, but, you're not really aware of what it does. You just wear it maybe because it looks good, maybe because you've heard of some of the spirituality that can go with tektites or crystals, but, you're not really too aware of it, right? My uncle's like this, okay? He believes in spirituality. He loves to meditate and all things of that nature. But at the end of the day, when I gave him some Moldavite back in 2012, he did feel the energy, but he didn't know how to explain it, right? He didn't know what he was going through. He started going through some major changes in his life, but he didn't think it was because of the tektite, right? He knew it had some energy and it had some power to it, but he really didn't know. He wasn't aware. He wasn't fully aware of what was happening in his life because he was wearing it. Okay, so you might fall into that category or know somebody who falls into that category where they're like in between, right? They believe in the energy, but they're not really aware of what it can really do. Okay, now The last and final, right, the last and final category that you may fall into, that I fall into, is you are full out, blown out. You feel the energy, you know what it does. You're aware of what it does, the change that it brings into your life, and at the end of the day, you might just need to get more Moldavite because you've become adjusted to the energy. Okay. I fall into that category. I remember when I first started out in 2012, I only had like 3 pieces of Moldavite, and that was good for a while. But then I started to adjust, and I needed more, and then had to get a little bit more, and then a little bit more. And as I keep adjusting, and as people, on this level, in this third category, keep adjusting to the Moldavite, we need more and more and more, meaning or finding ways to heighten and to magnify, amplify Moldavite so that we still feel its effects, right? Because after a while, our spiritual bodies become used to it, but at least we are aware of the changes that it's causing and bringing into our life, because they're always good changes, right? And so, if you fall into this category, high five, I'm in this category as well. And I really wanted to create this video because there needs to be awareness in this. Anyone and everyone can feel Moldavite. But if you're in that first category, you're just going to need a lot more of it. Or if you want to share this with somebody, just realize you're going to need a lot more of it for them to feel it. Okay? And sometimes they may not even understand what's happening to them. And to be honest with you guys, sometimes they're just not ready to handle it. They're not ready to handle the change that comes with it. And so if they're in that category, I would recommend to approach it with caution. If you know that they're not ready, really, like use intuition. Like if you just want to have them feel it for a one time, yes, that's okay. But if it's something different where it's like, just use intuition, guys. Like don't give them a piece of Moldavite if it's like, if they're probably going to lose it or they don't really care for it or something like that, because they may not even be ready for it, okay? But I really wanted to share that with you guys because it's very important for everyone to realize that Moldavite is powerful. It's a very powerful tool, and it's a much greater tool if you can use it with awareness. When you know what it does in your life, it brings major change into your life for the good. And just realize that even if you're in the first, second, or third category, the more you adjust to it, the more Moldavite you're going to need throughout time. And there are ways to magnify it. There are ways to feel the amazing energy that it has. But just realize if maybe you're not feeling it right now and you are aware of it and you want to experience, just realize that you may need more Moldavite. I know, for me, for example, I know that I will be needing and ordering and having more Moldavite when I get back into the States. So, guys, get more Moldavite if you need more Moldavite. I will be adding more Moldavite to my page when I get back, so hang on in there. If you have a local gem shop, though, go get some Moldavite from there. But yeah, if you're looking for some online, just realize that I will have some up in the weeks to come. Stay patient, or be patient. Everything will come into perfect alignment very, very, very soon. And so, guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed this audio recording. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And I will talk to you guys soon.